This is how Erik ten Hag's tactics took Manchester United to the next round of the FA Cup. When Manchester United play out from the back, they had their 4 defenders in Zone A. Meanwhile, Casemiro was in Zone B. As Reading didn't press high, Wan Bissaka could move to Zone B and therefore he ended up playing as an inverted fullback. Therefore, Malaysia joined the centre-backs. Casemiro and Wan Bissaka were the midfielders in order to create passing lines, but usually Eriksen dropped back to change positions with Malaysia. Meanwhile, on the right side, Antony was free on the flank, because Wan Bissaka and the strikers dragged to the opponent's midfielders and full-back. When Man United took the ball to the opponent's half, Wan Bissaka moved outside, thus Antony will move inside. On the other side, Eriksen will switch position with Malaysia, therefore Malaysia will go outside to free Rashford inside and Eriksen will join the center backs. As we can see, Antony is inside and Wan Bissaka is outside. For that reason, the player that was outside received with space. This time the white player was Antony. When he received the ball, he had to wait for the movements of the ball from Wan Bissaka, since his movements would free a space for Antony and had the space to look for a key pass. He saw that their movements created a gap between Reading's defenders. Therefore, Bruno Fernandes is running to that space and he played a great through ball for Bruno Fernandes. In quick transitions, Casemiro, Bruno and Antony were important. First, Casemiro, because he always had the vision to play to a free player. Bruno Fernandes usually played to the flanks with Antony or Rashford, because he knows that they had space, but also Eriksen knows that this would create a gap between the opponent's center backs. When Antony created a 1-to-1 situation, it was important the movements of the ball, because Bruno Fernandes ran behind him to create a passing line, but also Eriksen made an attacking run to receive in the box. When Man United had the ball in the final third, it was also important the movements of the ball from Wan Bissaka, since he dragged to one player to free his teammate, like in this case Antony. As he received with time and space in the edge of the box, he shot. Antony and Wan Bissaka had great understanding. This time Casemiro recovered the ball. When Antony received the ball, he played backwards to Wan Bissaka. Both players know that there's a space on the right flank. Therefore both players ran there and had a passing line. When Antony received with advantage, there is a 3 versus 3 in this zone, but in order to create a space for one player, it was important the movements of the ball, because this time Weghorst would play that role. He dragged to the center back and this created a space for Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the box. The times there weren't close teammates to perform the movements of the ball, it was important the movements of Casemiro, because he came from behind and always detected where he can find space. This time he saw the space between Reading's midfielders. He received with positional advantage and got right of his mark, who was Andy Carroll. And in the final third, the movements of the ball were performed by Weghorst, because he dragged to the center back and this created a space for Bruno Fernandes, but there was a deflection and Weghorst assisted Rashford. Eriksen joined the center backs. Malaysia was playing inside and Rashford outside. As he has time, he saw the great run of Wan Bissaka, who is dragging to the opponent's fullback to free Antony. When he received the ball, Wan Bissaka is still making the run, but this time to drag one center back. And Casemiro is coming from behind and detected the space between Reading's midfielders. Antony played a great through ball that overpassed the midfielders and the defenders. As Wan Bissaka created a space, Casemiro had space to score. The second goal came after a free kick play by Bruno Fernandes. Antony picked up the ball and there's a 4 versus 2 on the edge of the box. Thus one Reading midfielder moved inside to cover Malaysia, but this free Bruno Fernandes on the the left side. When he received the ball, Malaysia moved close to him to have a 2 versus 1, but this also dragged to the opponent's midfielder. As a consequence, Fred received with space, and there's a 2 versus 1 where Casemiro received the ball and scored. After the substitutions came, we saw that Antony was playing as a number 10 and Pelistri was playing outside. Also, Garnacho was playing as a left winger, Elanga as a striker, and many times Wan Bissaka had to play as a right winger because Pelistri had a free role with Antony. Fred and Mainu were playing as Eriksen and Casemiro. Leave your thoughts about this game, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by Mètrica Sports, the fundamental tool for every coach and analyst. Create and manage all your video analysis in one platform. Use coupon NasirSelad at checkout for a 10% discount.